Hello, my name is Harold Hernandez, and today, me and my team are going to be going ahead and doing some quick demos and descriptions over what our user stories were, which we were assigned to during the fall 2021 semester for our Capstone 2 project, the Robotics Academy. Now, a really quick introduction as to what my user story was is that we really pretty much wanted to add the ability for instructors to go ahead and create surveys. These surveys would then be taken by the users who are participating in the virtual classroom as a way so that they can test their knowledge of the current lesson that the quiz is based off of. Now, as you can tell on the website right now, the surveys tab is currently empty, and that's because we haven't made a survey yet. However, if I were to go ahead and click New Survey, you will see that I'm able to go ahead and do two things. I can give the survey a customizable title. We'll go ahead and choose Test Survey for now. And then I can go ahead and choose what lesson it is that I want the survey to be based off of. So we'll go ahead and choose Robot Printing. Upon clicking Create, you will notice that now the survey section does include now the survey that we just made. If I want to go ahead and see what the survey looks like for someone that is going to take it, I can go ahead and click Assessment. Here, you pretty much get a small overview of what it's going to look like when someone takes the survey. One important feature that we wanted to implement with the survey was the ability to be able to navigate between the questions and also cycle between them. By that being said, if you click the next arrow, you will see that it will take you to the next question. Now, if you were to click the next arrow and let's say you are on the last question, pretty much what it will do, it will cycle and it will send you to the first question. Along with that, it also works backwards, meaning if you are on the first question but you want to and you click the backwards arrow, it will go ahead and move you to the last question. Now, that is pretty much it as far as my user story goes. I am now going to hand it off to Alexandra. She will go ahead and do a small demo and a small description over what her user story was. Thank you.
Thank you, Harold. Hello, everyone. My name is Alexandra Reyna, and I will be explaining what I worked on. This semester, I worked on two user stories. For my first user story, we wanted to redirect users to the login page if they were not logged in when creating a new forum. As you can see here, I am already logged in, so I can create a forum no problem. But if that were not the case, I developed the website to have users taken to the login page had they already not been signed in. After you complete this, you can go back to the roboticist forum and create a topic no problem. For my next user story, there was an issue with the login and the sign up page where the layout was not working. So I fixed both the login and the sign up page. As you can see here in these pictures, before the login and the sign up page were fixed, the navigation bar would scroll down with the page and the arrow was also not linked up with the Roboticist Academy drop down menu. And you can clearly see how this is an issue. So, after working on the website, I was able to fix both the layout for the navigation bar in the login and the sign up page. And of course, here as well. Now, I will be handing off the next part of this presentation to Kevin. Thank you.
Here we have a few components from the FIU Robotics Academy main page. Shown below are pictures of the Robotics Academy navbar and the header. My task was to remove the feature of the employee matchmaking entirely from the website since it's a tool that we're not currently using. For my job, I had to specifically remove the employee matchmaking from both the navbar and the header, and then update the CSS accordingly to remove any extra white space that was left behind. After the changes, the navbar no longer has the employee matchmaking in it, and the extra space that was left behind was removed by reducing the size of the navbar. And in the header, the employment matchmaking was also removed there, and the extra space that was left behind was removed by decreasing the width of the header, so it all just bunched up together nice and concise. And now I'll pass it off to Adrian.
Hello, my name is Adrian Guerra, and today I'll be displaying the results of my user stories. So for story 212, the problem was that the drop-down menu here wasn't the same width as the home button. So in order to fix this, I simply modified the CSS of the drop-down menu. So this is how it looks like before, and this is how it looks like after. It's now the same. Another minor issue we found was that the submenus didn't look seamless in comparison to the drop-down menu. It wasn't distinguishable. So I fixed that by modifying the CSS of the submenu this time. And this is how it looked like before. And this is how it looks like after. There's a clear border separating them. Now for the next story, 214, it's in regards to the demos of the virtual classroom and the roboticist forum. So whenever you would switch between the two buttons, instead of disappearing instantly, the video would get pushed down under. So in order to fix that, I modified the jQuery function that was relevant to the buttons themselves. And I was able to make the transition seamless and instant. So this is how it looked like before. There was a delay and it would get pushed down. And this is how it looks like after. It doesn't get pushed down anymore. It's instant. Another issue we found with this story was that whenever you would resize the window, the arrows would not stay in their place. They would go flying across the screen. So in order to fix that, I added a resize function. And the result is, instead of flying across the screen, the arrows now stay where they're supposed to for both the virtual classroom and the roboticist forum. That's all for my user stories. I'm going to pass it out to Fabrizio now.
So thank you, Adrian. Well, hello guys, my name is Fabrizio, and I worked on user story 199. This is the same one that Harold worked on. We co-developed this story. It's actually the survey story. So essentially what we were asked was to create a survey, survey page where instructors can input their questions and make different surveys for different courses. And then the students would obviously have to answer these surveys, and the answers, the answer to the survey would get passed back to the instructor. So for the story, we developed a window pane, obviously, that would create the surveys, so that the questions would pop up on there. With that, we had to add the navigation, the forward back buttons. We also added the submit buttons, obviously, so that students can actually finish it and the instructor can see it. It was tad complex. Certain things such as making sure the window was fit to size. We also had to make sure we had the correct CSS because we wanted to match the website and make sure that we have surveys for different classes, such as one survey pertaining to one class, another survey pertaining to another class, or one survey could be used for two classes, stuff like that. But I think the story turned out amazing, as you can see via the demo here. And this was basically my story. Like I said, I co-developed with Harold, and I think it turned out pretty well, as well as other stories. So I want to thank you guys for watching our demo. This has been our presentation as the Robotics Academy Capstone 2 team, and I would like to give you a big thank you.